Wakey, wakey, let's be up and doing it to a purpose. Always reminded by Benjamin Franklin, it is the 10th of June 2024. I'm glad that you've chosen KT News to inform you this morning. And you had a lovely restorative weekend. Let's see how the week will pan out. Remember, Thursday will be the big day where we shall be having the financial bill on the floor of the House to be debated by parliamentarians. And of course, this will be a big issue this week. Voices from every quarter of this country have been raising their reservations and concerns regarding the financial bill 2024-2025, some of the contentious issues that they seem that are a bit punitive from the churches, civil society. We have them all rallying their call and saying this should be relooked. We shall be looking at this morning and after other issues as well. And that particular rift between the president and his deputy, where he came categorically yesterday saying that the MPs should respect his deputy president. We shall tell you more about that in the course of the program. We shall be joined this morning by Okongo Mogani, who is a senator of Nyamira. Also, we shall be joined by the Member of Parliament of Kitui Central. This is Honorable Makali Muli. We shall be joined as well by Hilary Sigay, Senator of Bomet, and Geoffrey Ruku, Member of Parliament from Mbeere North. So we have a full-packed show, but let's see how the weather will be today, which is up next. All right, time to see what is fresh off the press today. And today, the Standard is holding this splash for you. MPs walk a tightrope on taxes, budget, moments of reckoning, how to strike a balance between taxing an already overtaxed taxpayer and raising the necessary revenue to meet the growing needs of the government is the daunting task that Parliament faces this week as the budget is read and finance bill put before the public. You have a story on page 6 of the Standard today. And we have also a bite here from Kuria Kimani, Finance Committee Chair. He says, I want to assure Kenyans that we will make the best decisions. We do not want to export our jobs. We need to align our policies, especially manufacturing and particularly pharmaceuticals. And you can read the rest of the details inside the publication today. Beneficiaries of One Man, One Shilling talk. The raging debate on resource sharing has missed a big component, that of generation, making it either a red herring to divert attention from the finance bill or a Trojan horse on the same. You have that story on page 10 of today's publication. Ruto's plea to leaders inside UDA or UDA's crisis talks. President spoke during the party's National Executive Council meeting that told leaders to commit to serve Kenyans and ask them to solve their differences internally. You have a story on page 9 of the publication today. Let's see what the teaser is holding for us today. Your child could be exposed to serious risks in school. So make sure you get to see what these risks are on page 2 of the Standard, where it is all fleshed out for you. And State Rally's uptake of electric cars. That story on page 25 of the Standard today. EU voters head to last day of polls. That is on page 34 of the Standard today. And Cabra's rules the roosts in rugby. 48 of the publication today. Also remember, Health and Science magazine comes in handy for you. So get all the wiser as far as your health and self-care is concerned. Let's see what is on the front page of the Daily Nation. Respect Gachagua. Ruto censures MPs and the flag reads Deputy President arrives 1 hour late, apologized for his transport challenges. It's all about politics, and you can see a related picture here. President William Ruto, who yesterday revealed why he settled on his deputy Rigathi Gachagua as his running mate ahead of the 2022 elections, has asked young and ambitious UDA politicians from Mount Kenya and his Rift Valley backyard to respect the deputy president in the wake of wrangling in the ruling party. And here we can see President William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua yesterday during the Akorino National Prayer Conference held at Nakuru Boys High School in Nakuru County. All right, looking at the teaser on top here, when MPs go trigger happy, there has been a surge in cases where lawmakers mishandle or misuse their licensed firearms, leading to fatalities or injuries, attracting the attention of investigators and even leading to court battles. And one of them, of course, we know is Gatundo, Member of Parliament, alongside others. You can find their faces on page 3 of the Daily Nation today. All right, Kenya's junior starlets put one foot in World Cup. That story is on the back page of the Daily Nation today. And 2.5 billion shillings debt choking the media house, says NMG chairman. You can read the story on page 2. Gedungu warns over Treasury's unrealistic tax proposals. Auditor General Nancy Gedungu has criticized the government's revenue projections as over-optimistic and unrealistic on page 6 of the Daily Nation today. And of course, you can follow the world news where 274 have been killed in Israeli onslaught on Gaza. That story is on page 14 of the Daily Nation this morning. The Star up next. Gachagua arrives 1 hour late at Ruto meet. That is what we have as a splash. Discord. Standard protocol has been that the DP receives the president at a function. And Ruto warned about ethnic mobilization in what has or was seen as a broadside against Rigathi. You have a story on page 6 of the Star today. And red carpet welcome there. President William Ruto and Nyandarua Senator John Methu. You can see him here during the Akorino National Prayer Conference at Nakuru Boys High School in Nakuru County yesterday. Also, how State House seeks to tighten recruitment of CEOs, varsity chiefs. Find all that on page 4 and 5 of the publication this morning. Let's see what we have on the front page of the People Daily. Big no to finance bill is what we have as a splash budget in what could be a major test for President Ruto and his MPs Majority of Kenyans submit memoranda rejecting punitive laws. Let's see some of the institutions that they've submitted their memoranda here. We have the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, KEPSA. Also, we have Kenya Bankers Association, KBA, Association of Startup and SMEs Enablers of Kenya, that is ASEC, Safaricom, Anglican Church, Institute of Surveyors of Kenya, Kenya Women Parliamentary Association, KEWOPA, Kenya Tea Growers, KTG, Uber Kenya, Packaging Producers Developers, and Kenya Association of Operators. And you can see also members of the social justice movement protesting on the streets of Nairobi over the rising cost of living for low-income families. Key institutions have advised Parliament to review the finance bill. Let's see how it will pan out this week. On Thursday is a big day. Top Ruto men turn guns on Gachagua. That is on page 4, Newsbeat, inside the People Daily this morning. Also on Newsbeat on page 7, CS Wahome caught up in land tussle. Over 600 million shillings parcel of land there. That is 0.27 hectares of land. You can follow the story there, and that is alongside Ngong Road, 4th Avenue, if I'm not wrong. You can read the rest of the details inside the People Daily today. My husband opens app only when he's drunk. Arab Stars to face the Elephants in World Cup qualifier. That is on page 31 of the People Daily this morning. We buckle down to business now. Cars, fridges, TVs, top list of collateral for 5.1 trillion shillings loan. Kenyans increasingly using household items to secure credit. Shrinking pay forces borrowers to costly debt. That is the story you want to follow inside the People Daily, the Business Daily, I should say. And also how Intern helped recruit 45 senior staff at State Fund. The National Government Affirmative Action Fund, that is NGAF, used an intern to recruit county coordinators for deployment across the country. An audit has revealed exposing lapses in the human resources management at the agency established to help Kenya reduce poverty and inequality. What a task given to an intern there. You can follow the story on page 2 of the Business Daily this morning. And MPs give judiciary 1.2 billion shillings to purchase Madison House. Judiciary has been allocated 1.2 billion shillings by Parliament to purchase the Madison Insurance House building in Nairobi to accommodate part of the growing number of judges being recruited. And 7Cs to get 1 billion shillings compensation for contract breach. Tech firm 7Cs Technology, co-founded by business Michael Macharia, is set for a boost after lawmakers set aside 1 billion shillings to repay its dues owed by government. I think this has been long in coming since the court made the determination. Right now, I thought that was settled because this is a news repeating itself. You can follow the story inside the Business Daily this morning. 50% increase in SGR fares cuts passengers traffic by 65,833. That is a blowback. Passengers numbers on the standard gauge railway SGR dropped by 65,833 between January and March in the wake of a 50% increase in fares. And CBK tightens interbank rates. The Central Bank of Kenya has tightened the gap between the interbank rate with its benchmark lending rate as part of new reforms aimed at lowering the cost of credit. That story on page 14 of the Business Daily this week. Let's see what we have across our borders. In Tanzania, players fear for tourism over Ruaha rights abuse claims. Allegations of human rights abuses in Ruaha National Park could have devastating impact on Tanzania's multi-billion-dollar tourism industry if left unchecked, according to a section of tourism players. And we have Latifa Sykes, Tourism Confederation of Tanzania, saying that the allegations are baseless and misleading. And this, we feel, is highly misleading as far as facts and history are concerned, he says. Allegations, some of which they say some foreign NGOs claim that Tanzania National Parks has forcibly displaced local communities from the Usangu wetland within the world-renowned park to make way for tourism ventures. Also, tourists visit Ruaha National Park. You can see an insert here. NMB, not MBM, NMB Bank shareholders set for record 181 billion shillings dividend. Investors will receive 361 shillings per share later this month after the lender posted a net profit of 542 billion shillings last year. You can follow the story on page 4 of the publication today. All right, let's see also what we have inside the Citizen. And this is the Daily Monitor. Police summons MPs over budget racket investigation. Detectives are also to question Finance Ministry officials after President Museveni draws sword of blood. He promised during State of the National Address by ordering the Criminal Investigations Directorate and prosecutors to go after the thieving bureaucrats. That story on page 4 of the Daily Monitor this morning. Museveni orders police chief to deploy officers in each sub-county. And you can see Heroes Day here being celebrated, and that is President Yoweri Museveni greeting Sheikh Mohammed bin Maktoum, the Prince of Dubai, who was honored with Distinguished Order of a Crested Crane's First Class during the 35th Heroes Day celebrations in Gombe district yesterday. You can follow this story on page 5 of the publication today. And also on top here, government to rally more Chinese to visit Uganda. The Ministry of Tourism said they will ask more Chinese to tour Uganda after the launch of a Chinese dragon boat race. That is on page 3 of the publication. Also, living healthy comes in handy for you. Onto Gonza's triumph over brain tumor. You can read her story on page 18 of the publication this morning. I will load up the East Africa for you so that you get a glimpse of what is there inside the East Africa this week. Also, The Economist, The Newsweek, the Time Magazine as well. Moving forward, you shall be seeing that on the split as we continue past with the program this morning. Right, I want just to hear from the voices of our panelists who have joined us this morning. We only caught this morning with Dr. Makali Mulu, who is a Member of Parliament for Kitui Central. Also, we have with us Senator Hilary Sege, who is a Senator of Bomet. And we joined also this morning by Senator Kongo Mogeni, who is a Senator of Nyamira, eagerly waiting to be joined by Geoffrey Ruku as well, who is a Member of Parliament from Bear North. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning to you. Yes, let's just welcome you, hearty welcome this morning, this week. Today is the 10th of June. Time is really running. I don't know where it's rushing to, but it seems, as they always say, you know, life is sometimes like a tissue paper, right? So as soon as it gets to the end, the faster it runs. You've seen the tissue paper, the last piece of it, yeah, when you just jack it like this, it really runs faster. So some wise men say that life sometimes is like a tissue paper. What do you think about that? Hilary Sege, good to see you. Last week we missed you.
Thank you, Debal, and I equally missed you. Unfortunately, I couldn't manage to be here in good time. Remember, Debal, we are on recess.
Yes.
The fact that
You're still on recess, Senator?
Yes.
It's only that we had the resumption of the National Assembly last week. Okay. Until when? Until when are you in recess?
On the 25th of this month.
25th?
Yes. Though it's a working recess, as a matter of fact, we really haven't taken, so to speak, a break.
Yeah, the committee is very busy.
Week, yes, the committee on liaison, that is the chairpersons of the standing committees in the Senate, who are all involved in a working retreat in Eldoret, was in Gishu County, from Monday running through to Thursday. This coming week, there is a retreat between KEPSA, that is the private alliance investors, as well as the Senate, also in Mombasa. So it's been a working retreat all through. It's been a working recess, sorry, all through this period. I believe we will probably sneak out a week or so that at least we rejuvenate to prepare for a comeback. Tomorrow we have a special sitting. So we have been convened for a special sitting tomorrow to deal with the county revenue allocation bill and among other businesses that have been processed for transaction tomorrow. It's only tomorrow though, from 2:30 p.m. to the time the business of the day will be concluded. So we are equally busy delivering for the people of Kenya. And we look forward to a better week. The weekend has been quite an eventful. Politics almost took the center stage in almost all the fora that indeed came out to the public. But the rallying call, Debal, is that we have got an assignment for the people of Kenya. And that assignment is to deliver on the promises that the people of Kenya were given at the time the campaigns by all the parties were up and about in the run-up to the 2022 general election. And so we look forward to every leader, every responsible Kenyan, every other person holding a position of leadership to work hard towards delivering the promises for the people of Kenya. I know there's a lot of talk which I believe we'll probably be talking about in the course of this morning session. The finance bill, which has been the storyline for the last over a month now, which also became a major point of discussion. There is equally also the hotly contested, this is what my learned senior counsel Okonko Mogeni and his team, the formula for allocation of resources, the 1 man, 1 kilometer, 1 vote, 1 woman, though unfortunately, by the way, we don't have in that conversation 1 woman. Or talking about one. And so
we're thinking the 1 man is generic, yes. The Monday is generic.
But we tell people, look, this is the mandate of the Senate. The current formula for sharing, the current generation formula was passed, I think, 4 years ago, and it's due for debate and also discussion next year. We look forward to having this formula coming. And yesterday, we told the people of Kenya, look, give us the opportunity. This is our mandate. This is the work of the Senate that will come when that time comes. And we definitely will be seeing who will be where, who will be pushing for Team Kenya, and who will be pushing for Team Division, who will be pushing for tribal kingship, who will be pushing for the kilometer. And that is now what we're saying, we're getting prepared to. And the tone has begun, the conversation has begun towards looking at what is going to be the next generation formula for sharing of resources to the people of Kenya. And so I'm happy to be here again today. I look forward to having an engagement that is fruitful towards making Kenya a better place to be, and also making Kenyans to appreciate that we need to work hard at our personal level, so that at the time we are asking those who are in leadership to work hard to deliver, at least we have been able to depict a semblance of hard work from within a person.
I'm just inclined to wonder, why then do we have a special sitting tomorrow in regard to the revenue?
We have got...
why the urgency?
It's not urgent. You remember the budget will be read by the CS on that thing.
Yes.
So we need to have passed the allocations to the counties. We need to have passed the law so that immediately that comes, now funds will be available for disbursements within the law. Immediately they are read out by the CS on the 13th. And so we have just been convened purely for purposes of that.
Okay. All right.
And actually, it's a division of revenue allocation and county additional revenue allocation. And there's an additional one, IEBC bill, which is due also for the committee of the whole. And the last one, we've got 4 bills to transact. The last one is a statutory amendments bill. Only those 4. There is no other business the House is convened for tomorrow.
On the other RDVC, maybe I'll ask you later, because you seek not, or it's your wish that you don't have the provision of allowing the deputy CEO to...
Deputy chair.
The deputy chair, I should say, yes, the deputy chair, to actually take over after maybe the exit of a chair. Maybe you'll just make it very clear for us what is your desire as a JLAC committee as well. Definitely. Let's hear from Honorable Kongo Mogari. Good to see you. How is the people of Nyabira?
First, good morning, Good
morning to you.
To you and to my colleagues.
Morning, Senior.
Yes, first I'm happy to be here with my colleagues. I haven't been in this panel for quite some time. So it's nice to be back with Dr. Makali Mulu.
Yes.
And with my good friend, Senator Sigay, senator of my neighboring county of Bomet. So generally, we are doing okay in the county of Nyamira, but many economic difficulties, many challenges with issues of mental health. On on Saturday, we actually lost a teacher who wrote a suicide note and said life is unbearable.
He could not be able to pay 50,000 shillings.
He could not.
Yeah.
He just said now things cannot balance for me. And he left a suicide note and committed suicide.
Very sad.
We had another very sad case where a casual laborer hacked to death a brother of former MP for Borabu, Honorable Ben Momanyi. Yeah, and all this boils down to people just unable to do table stomach economics. So we're having very sad moments in the county of Nyamira, and a lot of discussion on this issue of finance bill. I had a number of sessions just having touching base with common mwananchi, and they are all extremely concerned how their representative member of National Assembly is going to vote on this finance bill that I think is due Makalimuru for debate this Thursday.
Not yet. They are still doing today is a public day. Yes. You know, today they are having what they are calling a day for everyone, a general public participation.
Yes, yeah. So that's a very live debate to develop. This idea of introducing VAT on items like bread is of serious concern to the people. I had a discussion with the taxi drivers, and they are extremely concerned. You know, people are just worried that they are not even able to pay comprehensive insurance cover for their vehicles. And now they're hearing stories, because they say they are just hearing that the country wants to introduce a tax that will be more expensive than the third cover insurance they take for their motor vehicle. And they say it's not out of choice that they take the third party cover, but because they cannot afford the premiums for comprehensive cover. But they hear that the government wants to introduce that tax.
We should look into that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So generally, I think the mood I'm seeing on the ground is that there is a score sheet. Most people in constituencies are waiting to see how members of National Assembly are going to vote on this finance bill. And this issue that was touched by Mheshimiwa, one man, one vote, 1 shilling, the Kenyan population is fairly informed now. They don't want that debate to be reduced to the issue of the sharing of revenue between the two levels of government.
We should look into that.
They are saying...
Let's not go into details.
Okay.
We should,
I just wanted to comment.
We have not begun the interview yet.
I
Just
had
into
my
that
learned
remarks.
friend mention it, but the point I need to make is simple, that debate should not be restricted to money that is shared between national and county. The debate should be even at the national budget making process.
Well, leave it at that.
1 kilometer for each constituency.
One woman, one man.
Yes.
One vote.
Yes. One hospital.
One child.
One child.
One job. One man, one vote.
No, yeah.
So that debate should be elevated even to the national budget. So we should not restrict it between the revenue that is shared between the two levels of government, but it should also be escalated to how we distribute our national revenue amongst our constituencies.
Thank you. Let's hear from Honorable Makali. Sir, are you okay? Because I saw a call coming in and I wondered, you're not going to show up today or what is happening? So that I could not be able to pick your call. I saw you tried to reach me.
Good morning.
Are you okay?
It's good to see you. I'm okay.
You didn't get a flat tire?
No, I didn't get a flat tire.
You're not having a running stomach?
When you saw that call the time, I'd woken up, but I was not sure whether we are on or not on. So it's like...
How come?
You know, I came from Gitui very late.
Oh, okay.
So yesterday we were not able to talk to you. But actually, so I just said, let me prepare and I come. So,
yeah, but we settled. I thought we settled that.
Happy to be here.
Thank you.
Good to see my good friend, Senior Counsel Senator Mugeni, after a long time. And to see also our friend Honorable Gay. Rugo has just joined. Very interesting. You can see what he's carrying.
Yeah. Don't preempt.
But the week, but the week was good. We were very busy in Parliament with the budgets. just to inform Kenyans now that as we are talking, we've already managed to go through the budget-making process.
So this is down to the wire this week?
Yeah, because we passed the report. We're going through the committee of supplies. That is also done. So as we are discussing now,
There's a committee of supplies?
Yeah, you know normally budget has to process. You pass the report first, and then you go to committee of supplies is where now you supply the money to the departments, parastatals. So everybody is now given their share.
I thought it's a procurement and supplies.
No, supplies. You are now supplying the resources to the departments.
I get it.
So a very busy week generally. I also managed to go to actually yesterday was the Day of the African Child. We are launching the project which will be coming to climaxing on Saturday 16th. So the launch was in Kitui yesterday. So for the whole of this week, we have a number of activities relating to issues of children. Then by 16th, which is the coming Saturday, now that's the national day for the Day of the African Child, which will be celebrated in Taita Taveta County. So the launch was in Kitui County.
The celebrations.
And what was coming out is the theme is education today for our children. Very good issues coming from the children. It was nice listening to the children talk about what they want done for them by the government. So we had a very busy day yesterday, and then I managed to come back. That's what I was getting here late. That's what I was trying to reach you to find out whether.
Fantastic. But
on
the African Child, I can see also they're raising concerns regarding also the high prevalence of STIs on boys and men.
Actually,
which is raising concern. Is it talking about the boy child?
Yes, a number of issues came up, and generally, if I were to summarize them, one of the key issues is the issue of their own education, the issue of the protection of the child, the issue of access to justice for those who have already been, their rights have been abused, the issue of the handouts who are molesting the children. Those issues came out very clearly through song, through dance, and through performances by the children. So there are a variety of issues which need to be addressed. And we have the Children's Act, which is very clear in terms of which provides the legal framework in terms of what needs to be done. But I think enforcement has been a challenge. So, for example, we are being told in Kitui we have about 850 cases of issues relating to children. Children in one way or the other have been, their rights have been abused. So as you say, there are a lot of things are happening. And to some extent, there's the influence of the social media, all these things. But all said and done, what the children are saying is resources should be provided for their needs. The government should be sensitive to their needs. The handouts should realize that they have a right to exist. And they said they need to be loved, educated, and protected. So that message was coming out very clear. And I hope as we proceed this week now, we should be able to see much more happening in the arena of the issues of children. So that was it. But now this week, more likely, as you earlier asked, the Finance Committee today has actually convened a public participation session, a KICC, which is open for everybody. So that after this, now when the committee will retreat to do their report. So I don't see them presenting their report this week.
Okay.
More likely they will be presenting their report, we will be debating their report next week because Thursday is a day for the statements from the CS. But as Senator Mugen was saying, what everybody is saying, and this is very evident, even as we go to the lift to come here, from first floor, ground floor to here, the two of the assistants who ushered us in were telling us, is serikali na sisi. You can imagine even as we were coming, because I was saying, the senator was saying Jambo to me, he said, Mheshimiwa Jambo, then I said good morning to senator. So they realized we are, is serikali na sisi. Watu wako hapa chini tu, wanatusaidia tukuja hapa kwa issue. So the mood everywhere is that this finance bill is worrying. I don't know, I've been asking myself. I've been in Parliament now since 2013. And what Kenya should realize is every year there has always been a finance bill. for information.
But it's not really.
It's only last year. This year,
it's never really drawn our attention.
Yeah,
like
it's only
this.
last year. And I was actually even asking who was the chair of the finance committee last year. You can't even remember. My friend Honorable Rimo, you know, he was the finance chair.
Kimani was budget.
Kimani Juma was budget. Yes. Finance was Rimo. Rimo was there for 5 years.
Yes.
People don't even know him.
Yeah.
No, but this guy Kimani Korea, everybody knows him. But it's like, so you can see the kind of debate and discourse this thing is causing. And I'm happy that at least today being the first day of the week, now we'll have a chance to discuss some of the issues which even Honorable Sigei has mentioned.
Right. Let's hear from Honorable Ruku, straight from Bere as well. You can just give us a tone and tenor of what is happening in Bere right now. By the way, did you go also for the Akorino prayers?
No. I had several functions in Bere North. I could not manage to go to Nakuru. Yes, and of course your constituency come first before anything else.
Indeed.
So I could not be able to join the Akorino prayers, annual prayers in Nakuru. So I think it was a nice event in Nakuru there, but also in Bere North we had very good function for the school, and as well as yesterday a very good football tournament.
Okay.
Because we have a football team in Bere North which is playing a national league in terms of the way the football is classified. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. I think they are somewhere there in grade 2, 1. So it was our local team and Kappa Oil team.
Kappa Oil, okay.
Yes, so and to go there and support my team. But generally, as far as
you're not telling us the score, it seems to have defeated.
No, we won.
Oh, you won?
No, we won.
Okay.
Even on Saturday, the same team was playing administration police team.
Okay.
Kenya administration police team, and we won against the Kenya administration police.
So
it's a very strong.
So you're inching closer to the FKF itself, the main tournament.
Yeah, the team also playing. It's league organized by FKF, so we had a good time there, and of course supporting different local churches, because we are going to also be very supportive to the churches, because church and the state is one and the same thing from many years ago, from 1648 during the Treaty of Westphalia. So church and state work hand in hand. Okay?
Especially with the current administration.
No, it's from many years ago. Centuries ago.
Centuries ago.
It has been like that.
Okay. So the highlight of this week is
we have a nation which we have to take care of. We have a government which we have to run, and we have to find sources of revenue from different sources. But I think we have to call upon the people working at the Treasury. They have to be more innovative. They have to really burn their midnight oil in coming up with different strategies of raising local revenue, expanding the tax base in a more not punitive manner to the businesses or to the entrepreneurs. And I know they can be able to do that. We must also call upon Kenya National Bureau of Statistics to be more innovative as well, to go out there and incorporate all the micro sectors of the nation into the GDP measurement of this nation, and to highlight areas of these micro enterprises. And I give an example. I had several functions in the village where we were hiring tents. We had a school function and serious tents were hired. And I'm sure whoever we were paying those tents, that money, that income is not captured anywhere by Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, as well as it's not captured anywhere by the Treasury. We need to, get the actual data of different microeconomic sectors of our nation.
The informal sector.
The informal sector. We need to be more serious about that. Also, I'm calling upon the Inspector General of Police, and I think respectively, to ensure that the court orders are implemented. We have a court order which has not been implemented in a serious way. The Mira farmers, cooperatives, Mowoka cooperative farmers secured a court order, high court order, and we have seen they are still getting harassed in cost. So probably I'll be forced to move a motion, a sense of motion of the Inspector General of Police to know why he cannot be able to enforce the court orders in the coastal region. And this is not the direction which I want to happy to do. But I think within the course of the week, today, I will start drafting the essential motion for the Inspector General of Police to understand why court orders cannot be enforced. We have a FARED coast order, which the regional commissioner, regional police commander of the coast is not able to enforce. And since we have one person who is in charge of police service, then that is a person to censor.
Thank you.
And discuss in the conduct of this person.
Thank you.
In the National Assembly.
Right, we shall look into that, because I know you're a man who keeps his word as well. You were very intent also with the Mobuka moving to the courts, and we saw that also effective. But for now, let's see the stories of the day before we take a short break. We have President William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, who have downplayed reports of the emerging differences, reiterating that their focus is currently on service delivery and uniting the country, as they urged other leaders to follow suit. However, politicians who accompanied them to the Akorino prayer conference in Nakuru said that indeed the alleged differences exist and should be resolved. This came as Gachagua was once again forced to use a private helicopter to the event, arriving an hour late after the president. Kenny Gachui has more.
President William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua on Sunday attended the Akorino National Prayer Conference in Nakuru, a platform which they used to announce that there are no political differences between them.
Ile nafasi mimi niko naye na deputy president na sisi wengine wote. Hiyo nafasi, kazi yetu ya kwanza ni kuunganisha watu wa Kenya.
And you have not told me otherwise. I think I have done what is possible within my limited ability. Na nitaendelea. What I want to say is that let people not create narratives that do not exist.
Despite the assurance by word of mouth, there were evident protocol mishaps at the event to the disadvantage of Gachagua. President Ruto arrived in a military aircraft and was received by other senior government leaders, his deputy arriving at the event an hour later after flying in a private helicopter, and was received by Nakuru East Deputy County Commissioner. Water CS Zakaria Njeru had to pave way for Gachagua on the dais. Despite the new seating arrangement, the two did not utter a word to each other throughout the event and only resorted to talk about the other on the podium.
Mheshimiwa Deputy President, tunataka tukushukuru sana kwa kupata nafasi ya kuja. Sisi tulikuwa tumeanza kutetemeka wakati maneno kanisa imeanza. Ule mtu mwenye tulimjua hatumuoni.
Gachagua, who like the president ordinarily uses military aircrafts, explaining that his lateness was due to logistical challenges and bad weather, reasons that have left many with more questions than answers for such a high-ranking state officer.
I had matatizo with my transport arrangements. Alafu ikaingia mambo ya hewa. Nikachelewa kutoka. Nikakwama pale kati ya Longonot na Naivasha karibu 2 hours.
Leaders who accompanied Ruto and Gachagua to the event, however, laid bare that indeed there has been differences between the two and there was need for quick reconciliation.
We do not want the divisions. We want a united country. We want a united county. And we want a united people. And only you can lead us.
Vile tulisafuta hiyo serikali, Your Excellency President and the Deputy,
jameni, sisi hatuwezi afford saa hii kurudi msitu tena. Ni ngumu kwamba kuna wanaweza jitoa saa hii waenda kwa msitu kupigania haki yao katika ile serikali tulipata.
Tushikeni mkono mkiwa na deputy wako, mtuoneshe njia. Hatutaki kuona kukiwa na ugomvi wowote. Wengine wanaitana Gakonia, wengine wanaitana Komerera.
Gachagua defended his efforts to unite the Mount Kenya region politically, even as Ruto warned against ethnic-based politics.
Kama kwako nyumbani hakuna amani, hamwezi sikizana Kenya. Utoke hapo, msikizane kwa kijiji, sub-county, county, region, mpaka Kenya.
1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote. Wengine wanasema 1 kilometer, 1 shilling, 1 vote. Your Excellency, my view is zote tuzicombine.
Ruto pointed fingers at the youthful politicians on their speed in politics, saying that their actions and sentiments were creating unnecessary divisions.
Nyinyi tupeleke polepole. We are going to mentor you so that you become better leaders and our nation can have an inheritance of a better country with better leadership.
Ken Gashuhi, KTN News.
Now, the Finance Bill 2024 has continued to elicit heated debate due to the proposed new taxes. Majority of Kenyans and experts warn that should it be passed as it is, it will make life difficult for Kenyans. This as a section of Kenyans or Kenya Kwanza leaders called for unity of purpose among leaders in Mount Kenya, expressing the need for leaders in the region to shun divisive politics. Suleiman Nyeri, I should say, has more.
The Anglican Church of Kenya is the latest entity to express its reservation against the Finance Bill 2024. Archbishop Jackson Ole Sapit, speaking in Nambale during the consecration and enthronement ceremony of Right Reverend Isaiah Obuya as the 4th Bishop of the Diocese of Nambale, calling on members of Parliament to reject the bill.
The Parliament need to look at those taxation proposals and only bring to us taxes that are going to support the government effort to do mission in this country and develop, but those that are going to harm us and make the cost of living hard and also the cost of doing business hard should be done away with.
Sapit said as the church, they have already presented their proposals which should be considered.
We are also worried on the taxation on cooking oil, taxation on bread, because it is a staple food of every Kenyan.
Sentiments echoed by Azimio core principal and DAPK party leader Eugene Wamalwa, who was present during the ceremony. Wamalwa urged members of parliament to oppose the finance bill, terming it punitive.
Leo tukiwa hapa, we want to join the church in standing firm against the oppressive Finance Bill 2024.
We are not going to allow this country to be run down the drain with the policies that are aimed at promoting neoliberalism that will destroy our autonomy as a republic and allow us to become a client state.
Meanwhile, in Meru, National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah called on leaders to shun divisive politics and instead preach national unity.
Una mobilize bloggers atiwashinde kwa Facebook wakitutukana, endelea, lipa zaidi. But you shall not hide behind the veil of your community or ethnicity to advance your selfish parochial interests at the expense of the nation. We shall not allow you to do that.
In what seemed like a direct attack on Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, Ichung'wah alleged that members of parliament from Mount Kenya have been coerced and intimidated to support the DP and toe the line.
Na mimi nimesema kama kiongozi wa Mlima Kenya na kama kiongozi wa wabunge, hawa wabunge mimi sitanyamaza wakiteswa hapa Mlima Kenya. Hawatateswa nikiwa mimi ndio kiongozi yao. Sitakubali.
National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula has echoed the sentiments and asked leaders to stop ethnic politics.
Hii Kenya yetu hakuna kabila moja inaweza kutembea peke yake ikafika mahali. Hakuna. Hakuna mlima, hata mimi natoka kwa mlima Elgon. Kwa hivyo kama ni mlima, hata sisi pia tuna mlima. Lakini sisi hatuchezi siasa ya mlima. Tunacheza siasa ya kuunganisha Wakenya.
Kama nyinyi mnataka deputy president wenu ya village hapa nyumbani, mupange na Kaika muongee yenu ya hapa nyumbani. Huyu Rigathi Gachagua, let Rigathi Gachagua go. He is not a leader of Mount Kenya. He was elected to become the leader of Kenya, not Mount Kenya.
Suleiman Yeri, KTN News.
And as millions of Kenyans struggle to make do with limited resources, debate over the one man, one shilling mantra by the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua continues to gain momentum. We weigh in on how the mantra has triggered a storm in political circles. Take a look.
Mambo ya sharing formula ni kweli. Iko maoni tofauti. Probably because ile maoni nimetoa inaonekana kama inapendeza pahali ya watu pahali nimetoka, unasema huyu is a tribalist.
In Ukambani, Ruto's Pointman Nimrod Mbai has opposed the one-man, one-shilling debate, arguing it lacks inclusion of geographical area in the matrix. Speaking ahead of the party election scheduled on June 28, 2024, Mbai described the one-man, one-shilling formula as divisive.
Hapa sisi tumekataa mambo ya one man, one shilling. Sisi tunasema 1 kilometer, 1 shilling. Kwa sababu hiyo ndio inaweza tusaidia. Na hatutakubaliana na hiyo mambo ya one man, one shilling. Sisi mambo yetu kwa sababu tumekaa sparsely populated na tuko na inji kubwa na northeastern kuko hivyo na coast ukienda kuko hivyo. Hiyo ni njia inaweza tawanya wananchi.
Moving to North Rift region, leaders opposed the one-man, one-shilling resource allocation formula, terming it as a baseless and a move to sideline marginalized communities.
We are shocked at the rate at which people are polarizing the country, especially using the formula. I am a governor of those counties which receive the least from the national treasury. And I can tell you running a county with less than $1 billion development is the most difficult thing that a governor can do. Kwa hivyo nikisikia watu wakisema one man, one shilling, one vote, you are actually cannibalizing Kenya.
In this county of ours, if you are going to say one man, one shilling, also say one tree, one shilling, one maize, one shilling, one bean, one shilling, one cow, one shilling.
We shall oppose that particular narrative in our country.
Speaking at a separate event in Embu County, Attorney General Justin Muturi seems to support the resource allocation formula.
With reference to population, levels of development, and whenever you are sharing revenue, you must, it is a cardinal requirement that you must ensure that it is going to make sure that there's no part of the Republic of Kenya that lags behind on account that they haven't received sufficient share of that revenue.
Azimio co-principal and DAPK party leader who was present defended Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua over attacks leveled against him by UDA leaders regarding the one shilling, one man narrative, saying nobody should be intimidated for having dissenting views.
This is a conversation whose time has come. Let us freely talk about it. Tusiwe tena na mambo ya vitisho, ama intimidation, ama isolation of any community or any individual, ama vilification of anybody anakuwa na maoni tofauti na yako.
Amid political differences by political leaders across different regions, Dr. Arthur Osia, a PS in the executive office of the president, urged Busia leaders to unite and focus on developing the county for the benefit of local residents. Elsewhere in Kisumu,
there is only one thing that he has said and is championing for, that I support.